So, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Notes 215. Welcome to my fourth episode of my podcast. And today I have a very, very, very special guest, man. This guy is, he's definitely, man, the reason why a lot of people is doing, these YouTube videos like unboxing and, just sneaker reviews in general, man. And, what I'm saying, he saw the future. But, in case if you don't know who I'm talking about, this guy goes by the name of Sneakgeekz. All right. AKA his real name is Carlos Sanchez, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Sneakgeekz and let me tell you something, man. Like history, man. Like if you would have told me like when I first saw your channel, man, like that I would like be recording a podcast interview with you, man, that would have like been like so far fetched, man. And it just seems like you was like one of like the trendsetters of a lot of stuff that's going on now in the culture. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate you being a part of this podcast, man. I really do, man. So let's get into like before the YouTube. Like let's go to like the very like beginning of just the culture and like how you got into like the sneaker game. What made you get into the culture and when did you actually realize that there was a culture like behind all this stuff that's going on now?
Yeah. So what's up, man? What's up, Notes? Yeah, man. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for that introduction. That's cool, man. Wow, the beginning. I guess back in the day, man, when a lot of people were into when I was growing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people were getting into the sneakers, getting into the kicks. I wasn't really into that. I wasn't really into that scene. It was like a whole nother world. I was like into another scene. And I guess it kind of goes back like I was kind of talking. Whenever there's like a lot of people doing something,
Mm-hmm.
I go in the other direction. I don't like to like gravitate towards that. So that wasn't really my thing. It wasn't until decades later, man. I got older and I found myself moving out of the city, moving out of Brooklyn from the projects, some houses up to Maplewood, right in the suburbs.
Mm-hmm.
Whole different world and totally out of my element. And away from like my community, and that's when I guess I started like searching ways to like I could connect, not even knowing it.
Mm-hmm.
Subconsciously was like, damn, I need to, feel like I'm still at home or something. Anyway, and so the thing was, I was like, damn, I don't even remember how. I think I was also doing personal training, and I was always in fitness gear. But I was always wearing these shitty sneakers, right? Or basically, these. And I was like, damn, man, I need to step it up.
Mm-hmm.
So I started searching for some sneakers, and that's when I was like, damn, I kind of forgot about this whole world that I kind of like bypassed when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And then started got somehow come across the forums, and ended up going. I think I ended up going to Flight Club. Found out about Flight Club. Didn't even know that existed.
Mm-hmm.
And went and got a couple of pairs. I think it was. I think I got the Space Jam 11s and the Cool Gray 11s. I think that was the first thing I ever bought at Flight Club. So got into the sneakers, and then it started like that. It was a slippery slope. It started real slow first, and then it just became an obsession. I was like every day, practically all day on the internet, checking out sneakers, right? Reviews, what to get next, what's coming out next, and just went into this like this whole world. And so I did that. Started looking. So this is the thing. So I started like, okay, I want to know a little bit more about this sneaker before I go get it, or I go, line up, or maybe order it from somewhere.
Okay.
I want to know a little bit. I want to, get more of a 360 view of it instead of just like a photograph.
Right.
So I go to YouTube, right? Go to YouTube, and there was like 4 videos of somebody reviewing sneakers.
Okay.
And I forget the one guy's name. Premium Pete was one of them.
Okay.
Right. He was on there. He did a video. Because he did a video, like I think he was in a store. I can't remember. But that was it. It was like 5 videos or something like that of sneaker reviews. And I'm like, damn, there's got to be more, but there wasn't. And that's how I was like, well, damn, let me start making videos. And that's how I picked up the camera, threw it up, and then started saying, look what I got, and And also, I wasn't an expert, and one of the first things, I still am not an expert. One of the things that I said, early on is I'm just starting to get into this, and I'm just documenting my experience as I go through this whole thing, and so that's kind of how it started.
Wow. So I mean, so even like, so you buy these shoes, and it's funny that you even mentioned like Flight Club. Like, with Flight Club as expensive as it is now, when you bought those Space Jams, like, what was like the prices on those Space Jams?
Yo, they were
And what year was this? If you could, if you don't mind me asking, because
this had to be what, we in 15 now, like 09 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, like 09,
okay.
Probably. So not that long ago,
Right.
But they were like, I think they were like $389.
Okay.
Yeah, they were like $389. I remember they were like, not. That was like my limit. I ain't going over 400.
400. Yeah. Because you're talking about New York taxes too, so it's already $389 plus.
And it was the old Flight Club too. They don't even exist no more. That one, the one I'm talking about.
Okay, so you get this shoe, and it's like, all right, so you start to get into the YouTube world, but it's funny, man. A lot of times when you make like these YouTube channels, like you don't think of the following, right? It seems like a lot of times, like when you get into this this culture, because it's almost like a culture within itself as well. Like there is a community of YouTubers and etc. But a lot of people, it seems like if you're getting into it to receive a lot of followers, 9 out of 10, it doesn't work out, But like, did you actually ever think that, all right, I'm going to go and buy this camera and I'm going to do this video edit and then I'm going to blow up? Like, did that ever like cross your mind at all? Like that?
Hell no, man. Hell no. Yeah, that was the last thing I thought would happen. I mean, I was always into technology. I was always a little bit, social media and trying to be a little ahead of things with that. And I did see people blowing up on YouTube, but the sneakers was the last thing I thought. I didn't think I was going to blow up. And definitely I didn't think it was going to happen with sneakers. No, I was just like fooling around. I was just like, let me do this, just being silly, let me get up here and throw this thing up and then, make these videos. And then the culture, the whole thing, I was blown away, man, when I started finding, the forums and, a tighter knit community than, because what my experience growing up, it was just like, I got these, you don't. And it was more of a doggy dog situation. Right. It wasn't like,
it still is.
I know. Yeah. But it wasn't like, let's hang out and talk about it, or let's hang out. And, it wasn't like that. I mean, I know it's crazy. It's crazy now, but there was none of that. It was just, I got mine and then that's it. And then, but yeah, then seeing the community, and then the get-togethers and just doing the lineups and, going to lineups that was crazy. It was fun, man. It was just go out there, and just hang out and do the, the camp outs and, just, and like the conventions and the shows that people all over the country, crazy, man. It was crazy.
So it was just like an eye opener of like, wow, like there's a lot of shit. There's like Comic-Con for like sneakers.
Yeah, no, totally, man. Yeah, it was crazy. And, so yeah, it was like a whole nother thing.
So you start doing these YouTube channels, and it's like now you start seeing like the numbers go up, like 50,000, 65,000, 100,000. Like at that point, like what's going through your mind? Like, wow, like holy shit, like look at all. And then the comments too. Like people are it's not just like the views. People are commenting about this stuff, and it's the talk of the town now. Sneakgeekz, like, yo, look at this video with Sneakgeekz and look at this unboxing. Like, was there any unboxing like videos before you actually started to get into like unboxing videos, or like how did that even like come about? Like you just said, all right, well, I'm going to like present this like if I'm opening up like for myself, and I don't know like what it is too much about.
Yeah. I mean, I think there probably I'm sure there was people doing unboxings of other things, and so part of it is, I seen the people just was so like on fire about what I was doing that I was like, I want to give them more of the experience, like when I would get the box, I'd be like, I'd walk up to my house, there'd be a box there. that's, I mean, it started before then. It started when you're trying to get, like, Nike's going to release something. You're like, hitting refresh, trying to get, trying to get in there. And then, it starts from there. And the excitement, and then the boxes at your house, and then you open or you go shop and you get the box and opening up the whole experience. Yeah, I wanted to give that, share that with people. That whole experience. Yeah.
So you start getting, I mean, damn. So it's like, all right, so your channel starts blowing up, and it's like now all of a sudden, you're basically the man. Like right now, like there's this kid. I forget his name, but he's like the YouTube sensation right now. And it's like, but it's like almost like in a funny way, like, like he dresses up kind of like a nerd or something. I think his name is like Eric Hall or something Hall. And like, it's like, now it's like he's in sensation. And it's like, I look at him and it's like, damn, that kind of like, it takes me back to like when kind of like Sneakgeekz was doing it, except that he was doing it in like, like a real way. You had a lot of funny moments, one of my, one of the videos that was brought to my attention, which I totally like forgot, was when you got electric green phone posits, and you were like, Jesus Christ, and I'm sorry if you're a religious person, but Jesus Christ, you was having fun with it, it wasn't so much of so much like you had to like be like so like perfect with it, like you could tell you was having fun like with these videos. So like those become like one of like the most memorable things. Now, how did the relationship with like you and Air Randy start? Because a lot of like the videos have started to get into like, it was first you doing the shoes. Now it's like everybody wanted to know where you was getting these shoes from, right? Because it started to seem like unbelievable, right? Like, where are you getting these shoes from? And where are you getting these shoes from? And it seems like there was a point where, so much asking and so much asking and so much asking. You was like, all right, fine. I'm going to spill the beans a little bit. So, one of the names that always would stick out was the Air Randy. How did that relationship start with Air Randy, and like how did you start to get into like getting shoes from there?
Yeah, so let me see. So things started to blow up, right, with the sneakers, and like anybody, well, I don't know anybody, but like me, people will be, you start seeing dollar signs. You're like, damn, man, I need to monetize this thing, right? I need to like get some payback because I'm spending a lot of money on all these shoes, and I can't. And so brands, quote unquote, brands, would reach out to me and be like, yo, we want you to review some of our, sneakers, and we'll send you stuff and that sort of thing. And so Air Randy, I can't remember exactly how it happened, but I think I might have bought some shoes off his site, I think, initially. And this was, Air Randy has gone through different, I don't even know what's going on with that right now, but different reiterations. There was one that when he first came out, I don't even think he had a website, if I remember correctly. So anyway, point is, he would send me sneakers, I would review them, and then I would on occasion I'd have to send things back, or he just let me keep them, right? As long as I mentioned his name and gave him some exposure. Okay. And and a lot of people with that whole thing, man, a lot of people were like, yo, what, it's funny. Some people, a lot of Inspector Gadgets and Sherlock Holmes came up on the scene. They were like, yeah, I'm going to find out what's going on with this. And people were like, and at that point too, there was so many views. So it was like a machine, bro. I wasn't even controlling it. It was controlling me. I'd go to events and people would be like, give me your autograph. Let me take your picture. It was like this craziness. And it kind of got to my head. It also got to my head in negative ways where I would have anxiety. I remember going to, I think it was Maryland or DC. Okay. And it was, it was crazy. A lot of places, just a lot of places were a little crazy. Yeah. It got a little hectic. And so then some people started hitting me up or saying, yo, man, I think Randy's shit is fake, and I was like, nah, it can't be. You know, again, going back to I'm not an expert, right? When I started doing this, I started learning as it goes, and people were like, yeah, he's a fake, you know, this stuff is fake, and I was like, no way, man, no way, it can't be, and then it was like we started getting into what classifies a fake, right? So basically, it was if it doesn't come out from a store that's an authorized dealer, it's a fake, and it's in the box. And I was like, nah, that's not. You know, I started. I was arguing otherwise because I didn't want to believe it. You know,
that's in denial.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest. That's one of the biggest taboos. Biggest in the sneaker game, except apart from just straight up ripping people off, is fakes, right? So I was like, nah, and then I think I asked him about it, and he gave me some story about some story, and then more. It was just so confusing. He was like, no, it's not fake. It's coming from the factory, but we're getting it out early from the factory. You know, there's all these scenarios. There's a scenario where the factory. I don't even know where it's up to date now, but I mean, what's the latest scenario? But there's authorized factories that do make the sneakers, and then they make a lot of B grades and lesser grades, and they're supposed to throw those away, but they don't destroy them, and they keep them, and they sneak them out of the factory, and then they sell them. That's one thing. Or they get the molds, right? They get the molds, and then they go to another factory, and they just start recreating them, but the materials or something's not quite right. Or they're doing it where they don't have the quality control and the inspection. So anyway, so he told me all these different stories. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm kind of believing you. I don't know, I know which way to go with that. And then it just kept coming down, boom, these things are fake. These things are fake. Everything you got is fake. Everything you're doing is fake. And it was like, a lot of people like, hating on that or not, bringing that up. And then I can't remember. There was a point where he had sent me some stuff, and I'm like, look, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not dealing with you. I can't remember. I think I still got them too. I think I still got sneakers that he sent that I never even opened up, or because I got like, lots of sneakers in the sneaker room. But yeah, that was kind of it, man. So there was a point. Before, I think Air Randy, right? I mean, there wasn't just Air Randy. There was Marquis Soul, Air Randy. There was a couple of different ones. Actually, my relationship with Air Randy was actually very minimal. I had gotten more things from Marquis Soul than Air Randy. But Marquis Soul I never promoted him because he never wanted to be promoted. He was like, yeah, you don't have to, You
ain't gotta say my name.
Yeah, you don't gotta say my name or anything like that. Air Randy was straight up, you gotta say my name. If you want me to send you these things. So, anyway, yeah.
So it kind of like, it bit him because he was the one who wanted the exposure.
Right.
So, but now, here's my thing like with that, and I'm going to be honest, because I was not having a discussion. I was having the discussion in my mind. I talk a lot in my mind.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, it's crazy how you got basically slaughtered, for that. But if you look at the YouTube world now, I would say 90%, at least 84, 85% of the sneaker reviews that you see, a lot of those Jordans, in my opinion, are fakes. There's no way that you could be doing, there's no way that these Jordan 11s come out for Christmas and you're doing a review in February.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
No, totally.
So it's like they slaughtered you, right? But now, a couple years later, it seems like that's acceptable now.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
well, it seems that way.
Yeah.
It seems that way because you look at these reviews, and I mean, I'm not the type of person like I don't look up, specific YouTube channels. But if I do see something that doesn't come out 4 or 5 months later, you look at these reviews and they're like 100,000 views. And a lot of the comments is like, yo, I can't wait to get them. Yo, man, I need those. Nobody's questioning, are these even legit? So it seems, I might be, and this is just my opinion, but it seems like in the YouTube world is acceptable.
Wow, that's interesting.
From when you was doing it, like, it's like you said, like the Inspector Gadget started to come out and they were like, wait, let me see something. Are these legit, and then that started to become a problem,
Yeah.
but now it seems like it's starting to become one of like those, things that is like almost like acceptable type of thing,
Right.
So, are you paying attention to the YouTube world now? Is it like past you? Because I read something that was like real interesting, and somebody had asked you, why did you stop? And you said something along the words of after the Galaxy phones, that was basically it. Like people hurting themselves, people getting killed, so initially, because I'm pretty sure it was like a mixture of a lot of stuff,
Right, exactly.
because a lot of times, like we might be thinking of certain things, but it might take something to actually happen to initiate. Like, all right, I'm really done with this shit now.
Yeah.
So like, like around what time was it that it was getting to your head like, yo, you know what? I really don't want to start, like I really don't want to continue doing this because too much backlash with the fakes, and it's like you say, like you buy these shoes, and yes, that's the only way that they could be legit, in my opinion, is if you actually buy them from a store, store, they give you a receipt and everything.
Right.
A lot of these Jordans now, there's fake Jordans that are so perfect that it's like, yo, what am I looking at?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So, now it's like a whole different ballpark, like when it comes to these fakes. But, at what point did you say, I just want to stay away from this because it's just too much. Like it's just getting too much where it's just getting to my head, is affecting me, is affecting my family, or it might be affecting my, like just like me health, my health. It might be affecting like certain things. Like at what point that you had to stop and say, I can't do this anymore?
Yeah, no, that's a good point, man. You reminded me about that phone, that Galaxy phone. That was a pivotal point. It, like you said, it's never just one thing. It's always accumulation of different things that happen that make, major events happen, that breaks the camel's back or whatever. But yeah, well, the Galaxy phone was definitely a start where I remember, so those joints were coming out. I was like, man, I was so crazy. I want to get those so bad that I had kids, man. I think in Texas, I was one, and it was probably in some other places. I was paying these kids to get in line for me, to get them for me. And then they were getting released, and it was crazy, right? There was helicopters. There was the riot, the level of riots was pretty crazy. I don't think there's ever been that level across the country. We had things in New York that were, but this was nationwide, and I could be wrong, but yeah. So I remember paying these kids, or not even paying. I was gonna pay these kids to get these sneakers. And they're like, okay, I'm trying. I'm like texting with them, and I'm like pushing, and I know shit's going down. People getting hurt, and I'm like pushing them. I'm pressing, I'm putting pressure on them. Yo, I want those. And I didn't say this, but in my mind, I'm like, through all means, any means necessary, I need you to get these. And then I didn't get them. They weren't able to get, or they did get them, and they said, fuck you, I'm keeping these, So, that was I was like, you know what? This is crazy, because there was a point, a big part of me like continuing to do the sneaker reviews was sometimes on occasion I would get like comments where kids would be like, yo, I used to be on the corner, or I could be on the corner selling something else, but instead I'm doing a camp out. So I could do this instead of doing that. And I was, wow, that shit like, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I'm really doing something for society and the community and my community. And, so, I was like, oh, what I'm doing is good. But then on the other hand, I would go to these campouts and Nike or Jordan Brand would know that this was going to happen. They want this to happen. They want, because the amount of free publicity, among other things. I mean, I won't say there's a conspiracy or anything like that. There's no conspiracy, but they could do a better job of limiting any type of violence, any type of negative, negative things that happens to young kids. I mean, when you're a grown man, you're a grown man. And what happens, you out there, that's on you. I don't think Nike needs to take care of you. You need to take care of yourself. But for the kids, it was, because I have been to campouts and lineups, and I've seen kids coming from wherever, you know, and they get in this line and they've been on that line all night or 2 nights or 3 nights, and then some guys just come from the hood, you know, from that locality, and they just get in front of them, and you know, there's police there and everything, and you know, and nothing happens. Those guys, they don't get their shit, or if they get their shit, they get it stolen from them as soon as they get it. Anyway, point is that I felt like I was encouraging, you know, you got these kids saying, yeah, I could have been doing this, but I'm doing that. And I felt like I was encouraging, you know, kids to get into this potentially, you know, dangerous situation. And who was the only person benefiting from it was Nike and Jordan Brand. At the end of all this, you know, after all is said and done, the person that's benefiting the most, again, is the manufacturer of the sneaker, right? And the brand owners. Not you and me, not the community, not the neighborhood, not, you know, we're getting this, you know.
Yeah, not the sneaker store, because
when
they don't have anything, people stop going.
Right, when they don't have a hot release, it's over. So, you know, so that was a whole interesting thing too. So anyway, so with that, you know, I was like, you know, so that was part of it. I'm like, you know, I'm just being, and that was always contrary. That's contrary to what my beliefs, my core beliefs, is helping corporation. Not that I'm anti-corporation, but I don't want to be helping corporations at the expense of the you know, people that don't have certain resources.
Right.
And I don't want to be that person.
Right.
You know, so it was that, you know, it was like I said, you know, like so the violence thing, and then it was just, I was feeling like a fake. You know, I was feeling like there was a point, and I knew this was happening, and I was still pushing sneaker. I was still pushing, go get these, go get the latest, go get the hottest, go get the, you know, but inside, like, really not believing it, you know, not believing that.
Right. All right, man. I hope that everybody enjoyed that interview with Sneakgeekz. That was a pre-recorded interview, and there will be a part 2 to that. So if you want any questions to be answered, just feel free to comment below. Let me know how you like this. Feel free to download my free app, Killakicks. It's available for iPhone and Android. I hope everybody had a safe Thanksgiving. It was a crazy week. So, yeah, man. Till next time, everybody, peace out.